Hi there guys. Now you might have been wondering what I've been doing lately, as the latest video I put out was a stupid montage of a disabled cat, which was really edited terribly and produced terribly. I'll explain that in a bit. What I have been up to though, I haven't really been working on Martian Empires. I've been focusing a little bit on attracting more players to it. I ran some Facebook advertisements for a short time. I spent about $20, got some new players, but I noticed that most of the players that signed up from Facebook didn't actually play the game. They left their score at about point 0.5. It seemed like they just registered and then didn't come back to the website. So I decided that probably wasn't the best approach, and I was really just wasting my money. So I haven't done too much. The game has, the membership has gone up significantly since then on its own. As you can see, we were somewhere down here, and then I started increasing activity. You can see the amount of players has gone up dramatically since then. As for actually updating the game itself, aside from a few bug fixes, I added something to the shop. I added you can change your character name now. There's really not a whole lot different. The game is still the same old, same old. But I have been working on another new project called Pixel Kingdoms, and I don't think I've made a new video about this project yet. Back in the day, I briefly discussed an idea of a project called Pixel Kingdoms that was similar to this, but different in the aspect that the previous idea was based around you creating a character and that character being able to roam through a fictional world and do stuff, kind of like the game Kingdom of Loathing, which is text-based as well. However, I stuck with the kingdom management simulation type feel because Cyber Nations, Nation States, Project Terra, those are all pretty popular games, and even Pixel Nations is doing pretty well. Martian Empires not so much, and I think a lot of that has to do with the theme and the fact that there's not a whole lot to micromanage in Martian Empires. Basically, you show up, you click a few buttons, and then you're done, which is something that I'm trying to avoid in Pixel Kingdoms. Now, this concept is very similar to Pixel Nations. You create your own fictional kingdom, and then you are either a king or a queen, and you get to rule your fictional kingdom. Now, I'm going to log in here, or actually, I'll show you what the registration page is. Now, some of the things that are different about this game from other games is that, first of all, you get to pick a race. You get to be either the humans, dwarves, elves, hobbits. It doesn't really matter what you pick. Each one has a slight bonus to a different resource. However, it's really trivial. It's a 2% bonus, which really isn't noticeable at all. But it is something that makes each race different, and is something that players can, either ally themselves to other kingdoms of the same race, or not. It doesn't really matter unless you want it to matter, but it's good for roleplay purposes and things like that. You get your leader name, your kingdom name, you get to pick a male, female gender, and your email address. That's all it takes to register. It sends you a randomly generated password, which you can change. I just added that feature today. So anyway, I'll log in here, and I'll show you what it looks like. So basically, it takes you immediately to this overview page. And if you haven't seen it before, it might be a little confusing. Basically, right up here, we've got your resources. There's 5 different resources in the game, and all these images, in fact, pretty much all the images that are in the game so far are temporary. But you've got gold, wood, iron, stone, and food. Now, these are all important resources. Gold, obviously, is something like money. There's what you buy and sell stuff with. You've got wood, which is important for construction. Iron as well is important for construction. Not as important as wood, but still important. Stone is important for things like new cities. Will be important for anything defensive, castles, etc. And I'm not sure what else. Probably things like roads as well. And then you've got food, which is important for feeding your people. And that's about it. Now, one of the main ideas, one of the things that you'll be able to micromanage is the buying and selling of these resources on a global market. You'll be able to have trades that are ongoing with players. For instance, you send them 5 gold per hour, and they send you 5 food per hour. Whatever, however you want to set it up. Things like that should work. Along with you'll be able to just buy and sell things as well. If you want to buy 1,000 wood for 5,000 gold, you should be able to make a transaction, something along those lines, in the market. Obviously, the prices won't be fixed; they'll be controlled by players. So, it'll be interesting to see how that works, because you will basically be able to, if you're, say, let me go back to the registration page here for a second. If you are a dwarven kingdom and you have a 2% bonus to stone quarrying, you might want to build cities with lots of stone quarries, and with that bonus you can amass a whole bunch of stone, and then you can sell that stone and trade it for these other resources that you need. I mean, there's all kinds of different approaches that you can take, and that's what I think will make this game really dynamic and fun compared to some of the other games out there. Below your resources, you've got your messages. If you have a message in your inbox, it'll notify you here, and then you've got alerts, which when you first register, it should say it's time to build your first city, which is what I'll show you in a second. Right now it says I have no new alerts, and you can view your kingdom, which kingdom viewing isn't all that great yet. But anyway, right now I've got 3 cities. My kingdom name is Valyria. If I go to construct a new city, you'll see again it shows you how many resources you have, which is important in determining, if you can afford the city or not. But here it talks about constructing the city. You get to name your city, of course, and then you have 4 different city types as well. This is similar to the races that you get to pick from. You can have a grassland city, a coastal city, a mountain city, or a riverland city. Each has different bonuses to your resource production. For example, grassland gives you a 10% bonus to food production. You're out in the open, flat land. Coastal cities are good for gold production, 5% bonus there. Now, another important factor is defensive bonuses, which I'm thinking warfare in this game, you'll be able to raise armies, and these armies you'll be able to attack your opponent's cities with them. So if your opponent has 5 armies at a coastal city of yours and they're attacking you, you'll get a 20% defense bonus, because a coastal city, one side's basically protected by the ocean, or multiple sides depending on how it's laid out, if it's on a peninsula or whatever. But anyway, you get that defensive bonus, which should make it easier to defend. Grassland cities out in the open, no defensive bonus. Mountain cities high up in the hills, high defense bonus of 50%. Resource production bonuses not so hot. You get 2% to stone and 1% iron, so not much there. And then you've got riverland cities, which are kind of a big mix of all of those. You have a 10% defense bonus. Obviously, if you have a river there, that's going to keep some people away from attacking you. And then you get your gold and food production raised by 2% each. Riverlands are great for farming, and they're also big centers of trade. So, I mean, each city has pros and cons, and it really depends on what you need in your kingdom that determines what you need to build. For example, if I need a lot of gold, I'm only making 1.7 per hour compared to these other things, I'm making quite a bit more. I might go for a coastal city. I mean, the defense bonus isn't bad, and I get a gold production bonus, of 5%. So that's where that benefits me. Or if you need something good all around, you can go for the riverland, or lots of food, or good defense for your warring kingdom, you might go for the mountain. And so that's where that comes into play as well, And then to build cities, it costs the amount of gold and food that it costs increases with each city you build, But the basic wood, iron, and stone costs, the building materials, stay the same. 20,000, 5,000, 10,000 is what you need. So obviously it's going to take quite a while before you can build multiple cities, but multiple cities will have lots of advantages. I'm thinking early on we'll see lots of kingdoms with only one city, and it'll probably be that way for a long time until you get to, I think I calculated about 40 days in, that's when you'll be building your second city. Should be around then. Obviously with trading and bonuses and things, you might be able to get there before then, but that's what I'm thinking so far. So anyway, you create your city, you can take a look. You start off with a population of 50, and another cool thing about this game is that your population grows in real time. It's based on an exponential function that I came up with, so it starts off slowly and gradually your population grows faster and faster. I'll show you here, this city of Alexandria has a population of about 7,555. The city down here of Jamestown has a population of 6,888. Now the city of Jamestown is exactly 1 day behind the city of Alexandria, and you can see right now it's something like 700 people behind the other one, but these cities are also about 21, 22 days old each. So when they were younger, when they were like 1 day old each, the city of Alexandria had like 65, and the newly founded city of Jamestown had like 50. So you can see where there's only a difference of 15. So that difference increases over time, and your cities grow faster over time as they get more people. So anyway, go back to our city here. You'll see again, it shows you how many resources you have. There's a brief description. Alexandria is a coastal city in the Kingdom of Valyria. That'll be added onto later. You can see your land area, your population density. Population density doesn't really have an effect yet, but I'm sure it'll do something in the future. And then you have a resource production facility for each resource you have. You can build gold mines, lumber camps, iron mines, stone quarries, plantations. Each, I'm sure you can imagine, goes with which resource. And then you have land, of course, which you can add to decrease your population density. So each of these things have various costs and benefits. What's being shown here isn't really what they actually are, because as you build more of them, it costs more to build more of them. I guess the price goes up the more you have, is what I'm trying to say. So that's cities basically in a nutshell. Now we've also got technology, which I've already basically added all of these first 15 technologies. And basically each technology costs a certain amount of resources to research, and then once you have it unlocked, you can basically reap the benefits, and each bonus is small. So each technology is a bit of an investment. For example, if it takes 1,000 wood to research the wheelbarrow, obviously you're going to be behind for a short while, but eventually this 1% increase in all resource production, so that's all of these 5 resources, makes up for the amount that you invested in the first place. And then these different technologies, as you get further down the line, they kind of stack on each other, something like a tech tree. For example, if you want to research the iron plow, you first need to have researched the heavy plow and the blast furnace. If you want to research the heavy plow, you need the horse collar. If you want to research the horse collar, you need horseshoes, etc., etc. That's basically how that all works. Pretty simple. But another fun thing to micromanage, something to work forward to, and adds more strategy and depth to the game without really making it too time-consuming, I don't think. So basically, for now, that covers everything. You've got your inbox, as well as your account, where you can change your password and email address and whatnot. That's basically what's been added so far. Obviously, I'm going to be adding more and more things: armies, military warfare, market, all kinds of things. That and more are all going to be added as I keep working on the game. Another cool thing is that with the forum I set up, it's a MyBB forum, which, if you're not familiar with, is something I'd say between PHPBB and Envision power boards, something along those lines. And so it's set up pretty well so far. It's got this cool portal page, which basically takes posts that I've made in the announcements forums and lists them for you, which is convenient, which makes a nice little news page, which is what it's called here, news. And then you can see what I've been working on. You can see where I added the account link, and then I added the ability to buy land and cities, and there's more and more technology, lots of things going on. And so that's how you can really keep up to date with what's going on. And then if you just click the forum here as well, it takes you to the main page where you can see all these different subcategories and things to post in. And the neat part is, these news things that I post are actually just regular forum posts. So if you're interested in it, you can post a response, I'll get back to you, spark some discussion, blah blah blah. All kinds of fun things going on here. Now, unlike Martian Empires, these forums are not linked to your in-game account. So basically, anything you do on the forum is not linked to your game account, and vice versa. You can have any avatar you want, any signature you want. No restrictions there. So that's another thing that I was planning on doing in this game is, there's going to be things called pixel bucks, which will be like tokens in Martian Empires, but they're not going to be as prominent. You're probably going to be able to get your own flag and avatar to be whatever you like without paying for them. Obviously things are subject to change. I'm not exactly sure how this is all going to work, but that's what I'm thinking so far. And basically we'll see as it progresses. Also, if you're wondering, there isn't a logout button up here, but this little tiny link down here, it's a door with an arrow, it says log out. Click that and you'll be logged out. Very nice little feature to have. So that's basically Pixel Kingdoms in a nutshell so far. If you're interested, check it out at pixelkingdoms.net. Pretty easy to get to, and hopefully I'll see you there. And even though you can't do a whole lot in the game yet. Hopefully I'll see you on the forum, contributing to discussion and whatnot. And yeah, that basically covers everything that I've been doing lately, and I'll keep updating you as I go. So thanks a lot for all your support, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.